Hi, everyone. Welcome back to KoKo Language Learning Lounge. I'm Crystal, and I'm so glad you're here with us today.
And I'm Rob. Whether this is your first time listening or you've been with us for a while, we're so happy to have you.
Today, we're talking about something really close to the hearts of English learners all around the world: how to speak English with confidence.
Absolutely. This is one of the biggest challenges we hear about from learners. People tell us, I understand English. I read well. I even write okay. But when it comes to speaking, I freeze.
And you know what? That's completely normal. Speaking a second language takes courage. It's not just about knowing words. It's about using them in real time, often in front of people with all the pressure that brings.
Exactly. And let's be honest. When we're nervous, it's easy to forget what we know. So today, we're going to help you understand why confidence matters, what's really stopping you, and how to build that confidence step by step. So grab your notebook or just sit back and listen.
We'll also share some personal stories, real learner examples, and very practical strategies you can try today no matter your level.
And remember, you are not alone in this journey.
Let's start by talking about why confidence matters even more than perfect grammar or vocabulary.
All right, Crystal, I want to start with a little story. A few years ago, I was teaching an intermediate English class. One student, let's call her Sarah, had amazing grammar. Her test scores were high. But during group activities, she barely spoke.
I've met so many learners like that.
Exactly. Then there was another student, Luis. His grammar, not perfect. Vocabulary, still growing, but he raised his hand all the time. He made jokes. He started conversations. And guess what?
People love talking to him.
Right. And he improved faster because he used the language.
That's such an important point. Confidence lets you use what you know. It turns knowledge into communication.
And that's what language is for. It's not a test, it's a tool.
Now, let's be clear, we're not saying grammar doesn't matter. But if you wait until you're perfect, you'll never speak.
There's no such thing as perfect English. Even native speakers pause, rephrase, say and mess up.
So the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every time you speak, even if you make a mistake, you're building your confidence.
Okay, let's dig deeper. Why do so many learners feel nervous or afraid to speak?
There are a few big reasons. The first is simple fear of making mistakes.
That's huge. People worry, what if I say something wrong? What if they laugh at me?
Here's the truth: everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn. Babies make mistakes. Kids do. Adults do. Even teachers do.
I still mispronounce French words, and I studied French for years.
Another reason people lack confidence is because of negative self talk.
Right. That little voice in your head that says, you're not good enough, or your English is terrible.
We all have that voice, but we have to learn to answer it. Replace it with something like, I'm learning, or I'm getting better every day.
And then there's comparison. We look at someone who's fluent and think, I'll never be like that.
But remember, you're seeing their chapter 10. You might be on chapter 2. Don't compare someone's highlight reel to your behind the scenes.
So if we want to build confidence, we have to start by changing the way we think.
Let's try a little exercise. Imagine this. You're walking down the street and you see a child learning to ride a bike. He falls. Do you say, "Wow, you're terrible. You should give up"?
Of course not. You'd say, keep going, you're getting better.
That's how you need to treat yourself. You're learning to speak English, it's like riding a bike. Wobbly at first, but with every try you grow stronger.
Now that we understand why confidence matters, let's talk about how to actually build it. Because confidence isn't something you just have, it's something you develop.
Right. And the good news is there are simple, practical ways to build speaking confidence every single day. You don't need to wait until you reach a certain level.
Let's start with one of the most underrated tools, talking to yourself.
This might sound silly at first, but it's actually super effective. You can do it anytime while cooking, walking, or getting ready in the morning.
Here's how it works. You describe what you're doing out loud. For example, now I'm brushing my teeth. I need to find my shoes. It's a sunny day today.
It helps you practice thinking in English, which is a key step toward speaking fluently.
And there's zero pressure. No one is judging you. It's just you and your voice.
This habit slowly rewires your brain to default to English instead of translating from your native language. Another amazing technique is called shadowing. Have you heard of it?
Oh, yes, I love shadowing. It's when you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say immediately, like an echo.
You can use YouTube videos, TED Talks, movies, or even podcasts like this one.
Let's give an example. Say the speaker says, I'm going to the store. You repeat, I'm going to the store.
You don't have to wait for them to finish the whole sentence. You try to follow along almost instantly.
It improves your pronunciation, rhythm, and listening all at once. Plus, it helps your mouth get used to forming English sounds.
And the more you shadow, the more natural English will feel.
Let's try a mini shadowing exercise right now. I'll say a sentence. You at home try repeating it with me.
Ready?
I want to learn English with confidence.
Again, I want to learn English with confidence.
Good. Now, a longer one, I believe that speaking every day helps me improve.
One more. Making mistakes means I'm learning something new.
That's the spirit. Repetition builds fluency and confidence.
Here's another powerful strategy: start small.
What do you mean?
Many learners try to have long, deep conversations right away, but that can be overwhelming.
So instead begin with short, simple exchanges.
Exactly. Start with phrases like, "How are you today? Can I help you? I'm learning English."
These small wins build momentum. Every successful sentence adds to your confidence.
And when you succeed once, you want to keep going.
Let me tell you about one of my students, Jehoon. He was very shy, especially around native speakers. So we created a confidence challenge.
What was that?
Every day, Jehoon had to say just one English sentence to a real person. It could be a greeting, a question, or a thank you. Just one.
And what happened?
At first, he felt nervous. But after a week, he noticed people responded kindly. He wasn't laughed at, that was understood.
And that changed everything.
Yes. After a month, he was having short conversations without fear.
Sometimes less is more. Start small. Be consistent.
Let's give our listeners a simple daily routine to build confidence.
Here's one. Describe your morning routine out loud. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm getting dressed. Choose a 3-minute clip of a native speaker and shadow their speech. Say one sentence to another person in English: family, friend, coworker, or even online.
That's about 15 to 20 minutes a day. Totally doable.
And if you do this for 1 month, I promise you'll feel the difference. So far, we've talked about practical techniques like shadowing and self-talk. But we can't ignore the deeper part of confidence, the mindset.
Yes, because sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't your vocabulary, it's your thoughts.
Right. You might know the words. You might have studied grammar. But if your mind says you can't do this, you hesitate or stay silent.
So let's talk about how to change those thoughts. Let's start with one of the most common I'm not good enough.
This thought is powerful and dangerous. It tells you that you're failing before you even try.
But here's the truth, no one starts good. Everyone who's confident now had to practice to get there.
Confidence is built, not born. Just like going to the gym, you don't start with heavy weights. You start small and grow stronger.
So instead of saying I'm not good enough, try saying I'm still learning and that's okay.
Exactly. That one change in language gives you permission to grow.
Next up, the fear of mistakes. This one stops more learners than anything else.
Mistakes feel embarrassing, but they are essential.
I mean, how did you learn your first language? You made thousands of mistakes, and people still understood you, helped you, and loved you.
Here's a powerful idea. Mistakes are evidence that you're trying.
I love that. Say it again.
Mistakes are evidence that you're trying. If you're not making mistakes, you're probably not pushing yourself enough.
And the more mistakes you make, the faster you'll improve because you'll remember what you learned.
Let's talk about perfectionism. It can feel like a good thing, I just want to get it right. But it often leads to silence.
Right. People think if I can't say it perfectly, I shouldn't say anything. But that's like saying if I can't run a marathon, I shouldn't take a walk.
That mindset will kill your confidence.
Say it again, progress over perfection.
Your English doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real.
Let's give our listeners a short activity changing negative self talk to positive self talk.
Great idea. I'll say a negative thought, and you give a better version. Ready?
Let's go.
I can't speak English well.
I'm improving every day.
People will laugh at me if I make a mistake.
People will understand I'm learning, and many will respect me for trying.
My accent is bad.
My accent is part of who I am. It shows I'm bilingual. That's amazing.
Perfect. These small changes make a big difference in how you feel.
Here's another great confidence building tool visualization.
Oh, yes, I love this one.
Close your eyes and imagine yourself having a successful conversation in English. Picture the situation clearly where you are, who you're speaking to, what you're saying.
Imagine the other person smiling, nodding, understanding you. Feel the pride in your chest as you speak with ease.
The brain responds to imagined success almost the same way it responds to real success. Visualization builds confidence even before the real moment happens.
Try this every night for 2 minutes before bed. You'll be surprised by the results. Another helpful idea, keep a confidence journal.
That's where you write down any small success you have in English, even tiny ones.
Did you answer a question in English class? Write it down.
These become proof reminders that you can speak English. On hard days, read your journal. Let it remind you of your growth.
Confidence isn't just about big moments. It's built from 100 small steps.
Now that we've covered the mindset and some powerful mental tools, let's move into practical conversation scenes.
Yes, because confidence really grows in real life situations. So, let's take you through a few places where you might need to speak English.
And we'll show you what to say, how to say it, and even how to handle mistakes or awkward moments.
Hi there, what can I get started for you?
Hi, I'd like a small coffee, please.
Sure. Would you like milk or sugar with that?
Yes, some milk. No sugar, thanks.
Great. That'll be 250.
Here you go. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your coffee.
Let's break that down. Did you notice anything special?
Rob used short, clear sentences. No fancy words. No complex grammar.
And that's the secret. Confidence doesn't come from complexity. It comes from clarity and control.
Also, he smiled. Body language is part of communication. Smiling shows warmth and helps the conversation feel smoother.
Okay, class, let's start with introductions. Who wants to go first?
Hi, everyone. My name is Crystal. I'm from South Korea, and I'm learning English because I want to study abroad.
Thanks, Crystal. That was great.
A lot of learners freeze during introductions. But remember, this is your story. You've practiced it. Use it to shine.
You can even write your introduction down and memorize it. That's not cheating, that's preparation.
Start with this formula. Hi, my name is insert name. I'm from insert country. I'm learning English because insert reason.
It's simple, flexible, and works in nearly every setting.
Hi, can I help you find something?
Yes, I'm looking for a jacket. Something for the winter.
We have some great ones right over here. What size do you wear?
Medium, I think. Can I try it on?
Of course, fitting room is to the left.
Thank you.
Many learners are scared to ask for help. But think of it this way, asking shows strength, not weakness.
Exactly. Use simple openers. I'm looking for. Can I try? Do you have?
And don't worry if you don't understand something. Just say, could you repeat that, please? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
That's natural and confident. Let's do a bonus scene talking to someone at a party or event.
Oh, that's a big one for confidence.
Hi, is this seat taken?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. I'm Rob, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Rob. I'm Crystal.
So, how do you know the host?
Oh, we went to college together. You?
We work together. This is actually my first time coming to one of her parties.
That's cool. She throws good ones. Small talk can feel scary. But the goal isn't to impress, it's to connect.
Here are some simple conversation starters. Is this your first time here? How do you know host? What do you do for work? I really like your bag, shoes, etc. Where did you get it?
And if you're nervous, prepare some answers ahead of time. That's smart, not weak.
Let's pause here. To our listeners, think about a place where you'd like to speak English.
It could be your job, a cafe, an online class, or even on vacation.
Now imagine the conversation. What would you say? How would you start?
Write it down. Practice it aloud. Visualize success.
Confidence doesn't start when you open your mouth. It starts in your mind and in your preparation. So far, we've talked about tools and examples. But today, we want to focus on something that truly separates confident speakers from those who get stuck: consistency.
Exactly. You can have all the strategies in the world, but if you don't practice regularly, your confidence won't grow.
The key is not to study harder, but to practice smarter and more consistently.
Let's break down what a consistent English routine might look like. It doesn't have to be 2 hours a day.
Even 20 minutes a day is enough if you use it well.
Here's a sample routine we recommend for building speaking confidence. Morning warm up, 5 minutes. Say your morning routine aloud in English. I'm brushing my teeth. I have to get dressed. Today I'm going to work. Listening. Shadowing, 5 to 10 minutes. Choose a video or podcast. Shadow 35 sentences. Pause and repeat. Confidence. Sentence 2 minutes. Say one thing out loud about your day. Today I'm feeling motivated. I'm learning new words every day. Record yourself, which is optional. Record 1 minute of your voice. Listen back, no judgment, just observe.
This short practice, just 15-20 minutes, can change your life if done daily.
And it's flexible. You can do it on the bus, during a break, or while walking.
Let's talk about plateaus, that moment when you feel stuck.
So many learners hit a point where they stop feeling progress. They say, I've been studying, but I'm not improving.
This usually happens after the beginner stage. You know the basics, but you're not yet fluent.
And that's totally normal. Plateaus are part of the journey.
To break through, you need to change something: your method, your level of challenge, or your emotional mindset.
If you're stuck, ask yourself, am I practicing the same way every day? Am I avoiding challenges? Am I focusing only on grammar and not enough on speaking?
You might need to switch things up. For example, start a conversation on a language app, join a speaking group, record yourself answering daily questions in English, watch a new type of content: comedy, TED Talks, documentaries.
New input equal new results.
Here's one of the best ways to build confidence: join a conversation group.
These can be online or in person. The goal isn't to speak perfectly, it's to practice in a safe space.
I recommend groups with a supportive, friendly environment. Look for ones focused on speaking, not just grammar.
If you're shy, start by listening. Then say just one sentence. Over time, say more.
And guess what? Everyone in those groups feels the same fear. You're not alone.
Let's not forget technology. You can use your phone to help with consistency. Set daily reminders. Track your streak. Make it fun.
And celebrate small wins. Even one sentence a day is progress.
Now let's talk about a tough truth. You won't always feel motivated.
That's when you need discipline.
Motivation gets you started.
So make English part of your routine, like brushing your teeth. You don't have to feel excited, you just do it.
And some days will feel hard. But confidence is built on showing up even when it's hard.
And on those days when you do show up, even just for 10 minutes, you should be proud. All right, friends. In this part of the episode, we're answering some of the most common questions we've received from English learners, people just like you who are trying to build their confidence.
Yes. And later we'll walk you through a powerful role play so you can see what confidence actually looks like in progress, not perfection.
This one comes up all the time. You're in a conversation, someone asks you a question, and your mind goes totally blank.
First, breathe. That blank moment happens to everyone, even in their native language.
Second, have some rescue phrases ready. For example, let me think for a second. I'm trying to find the right word. Can you say that again slowly?
These phrases buy you time and show confidence. You're taking control of the moment instead of panicking.
Also, the more you practice real conversations, the less freezing will happen. It's all about exposure and confidence over time.
Oh, wow, this one hits home. Comparison is a confidence killer.
It really is. You see someone speaking fluently, and suddenly your progress feels too small.
But here's the truth, everyone has a different journey. That fluent speaker, they probably struggled just like you, but you didn't see it.
You're not competing with them. You're only competing with your past self.
Instead of comparison, try celebration. Celebrate others and celebrate yourself too.
Great question. Fluency isn't just about words, it's also about tone, rhythm, and natural flow.
That's where shadowing comes in again. Copy the way native speakers speak, not just what they say, but how they say it.
Focus on things like contractions: I'm instead of I am, reductions gonna instead of going to, linking sounds. What do you want becomes what do you want?
You don't need to force it. Just listen, repeat, and let your brain absorb it over time. Let's act out a mini scene. I'll play Anna, a shy English learner. Rob, you be the person helping her.
Let's do it.
Hello. My English is not good.
Hi, Anna, you're doing great already. Let's start slow, okay?
Okay, I want practice. Speaking.
Awesome. We can talk together. What's your favorite food?
Pizza. I like cheese pizza.
Nice, I love pizza too. Do you eat it often?
Not every day. Maybe Friday.
That's perfect. You're doing amazing, Anna. Just keep going.
So, what did you notice?
Anna started nervous, but she tried. She used simple words. And most importantly, she didn't give up.
Rob didn't interrupt or correct every mistake. He supported the conversation.
Exactly. A good speaking partner helps you feel safe. Confidence grows when you feel heard, not judged.
To wrap this up, let's talk about something powerful: identity.
If you keep telling yourself, I'm shy or I'm bad at English, your brain will believe it.
Instead, tell yourself, I'm a person who speaks English with growing confidence.
That small shift changes how you act. You'll be more willing to speak, more open to learning, and more proud of your progress.
Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You choose to show up. You choose to speak even when it's hard.
And when you make that choice often enough, confidence becomes natural. Wow, if you've made it this far, give yourself a round of applause. You've listened to over 7,000 words of English practice, encouragement, and real conversation.
That's right. And honestly, that alone is something to be proud of. You're showing up for your learning journey, and that's what confidence is all about.
Let's take a quick look back at what we covered in this episode.
We started by talking about the big idea that confidence matters more than perfection. You don't need to speak perfect English. You need to be brave enough to try.
Then we moved into strategies, practical, everyday habits like self talk, shadowing, and starting small. These things help you build fluency gradually and naturally.
We explored the mental side of learning too, like changing your self talk, embracing mistakes, and celebrating small wins.
And we gave you real life example scenes at coffee shops, in classes, making small talk so you can imagine and practice those moments yourself.
Then we talked about consistency, how just 15 minutes a day can make a big difference if you stick with it.
And finally, we shared some great listener questions, walked through a confidence role play, and ended with the reminder that you can choose to see yourself as a confident English speaker.
So here's your challenge for this week. It's simple but powerful. Speak at least one sentence in English every day for 7 days.
You can speak to yourself, to a friend, in an online group, or even in a voice message.
Here are a few sentence ideas to get you started. Today I'm learning English because one thing I did well today is,
You don't need long conversations. You just need to build a habit of speaking. That's where confidence lives.
and for those of you who want to go deeper, take 10 minutes to write in a notebook. What makes me feel nervous when speaking English? What would I say to a friend who feels that way? What can I do to support myself like I would support them?
This exercise helps you notice your fears and reframe them with kindness.
Before we go, let me say this. You are doing better than you think. If you've ever spoken even one sentence in English, you've already been brave.
And every sentence, every word, every mistake, that's part of the journey. Nobody becomes confident overnight.
Confidence is not loud. It's not fast. It's not perfect. Confidence is quiet courage, the decision to try again and again.
So, wherever you are on your English journey, we're proud of you. Keep going. Keep speaking. You are learning and you are growing.
And we'll be right here to cheer you on.
Thanks for listening, everyone. If you liked today's episode, consider sharing it with a fellow English learner or leaving us a review.
And remember, you've got this.
See you next time.